Hello, everybody. This is Aiden here. I'm going to be conducting an interview with soccer player Tyler. And firstly, Tyler, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Today, I want to start off with some questions. I want to start the conversation with some information about you. What is your full name and where are you from?
My name is Tyler Logan Corrales, and I'm from Vancouver, Washington.
Sweet. Do you have any favorite players or teams? What position do you play?
Growing up, I definitely loved FCB or Barcelona. That was like my favorite team. I really idolized Neymar, and because of him, I think that's why I got into the position of winger.
Great. Yeah, I love Neymar. What was your first memory of the game? Do you know where you were? What stuck with you?
I was really young, probably like middle school, but it was probably just on the fields at recess, hanging out with my buddies, passing the ball around and shooting. Just playing scrimmage at recess, yeah.
Yeah, good times. Now I'm going to ask you some questions about what makes soccer your sport.
Sounds good.
What are the other sports that you grew up playing, and how come soccer is different? How is it similar to others that you've played?
Like most kids, I played a bunch of sports, got into a lot of them, but really none of them stuck. I did track and field for a bit. I did basketball for a while, but I think soccer was different. Like, watching the games really got me pumped up. Hanging out with my friends really got me in the mood to play. And just something about being on the field and kicking the ball around really had me excited.
Yeah, absolutely. For the next question, I wanted to ask where the sport has taken you. Has it helped you with the discovery of yourself? And has it connected you with like-minded people, given you a sense of purpose, something along those lines?
Absolutely. I mean, soccer has been an outlet for me to be a leader. Like, I was really competitive as a kid, and I think that's still carried on in my life currently. So yeah, just being on the field with your friends, competing against a different team, like, you have to work together. There's a lot of friendships and connections that you make, and everyone on that field wants to be just as competitive and to win the game as much as you are. So
Now, Tyler, this interview is being conducted for non-soccer players. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions, prompting you to explain some of your practices?
yeah, absolutely.
So, can you walk me through a normal practice with the UNM club team? Elaborate on the sections of practice. What does each activity serve as?
Yeah, so at UNM, the practices are pretty laid back. We still got a lot of work done. When we show up, we're pretty social to begin with. You hang out with your buddies, you say what's up, and then we usually get into warming up. So we do maybe a half lap around the Johnson Field, get some touches with the ball, and then do some stretches. Stretches first. Get those in so we're ready to go, and then, pass the ball around in a circle, trying to keep the defenders away and stuff like that. And then eventually we'll make it into different drills, whether it's one-on-one, like trying to go to goal, or if you're doing shooting drills, passing drills, anything like that, we can do.
Sweet. Can you explain your relationship with the sport mentally? How much of the game is physical rather than mental? How does that competition affect you?
I mean, yeah, a lot of it's mental. I mean, when you're on the field during practice with your buddies, it's a lot different of an environment than being in game. There's a lot of mental stress when you're in game. You wanna make your teammates proud. You wanna give them a good pass, and you're constantly in your head. But I mean, there's also the physical aspect as well that you were talking about. You have to keep your pace up for the 90 minutes. You have to make sure you have enough stamina to keep up with everybody on the field. But yeah.
That was a great, really insightful answer, Tyler. Next, I wanted to ask you what some of your favorite aspects of the sport are. Combining with teammates, scoring goals, making tackles. Are you offensive or defensive? Go ahead and explain that to me.
Yeah, so ever since I was a kid, watching players on TV and stuff like that, I've always loved playing offensively. So from the start, shooting has been definitely my favorite aspect of the sport. Learning how to curve the ball with finesse or hitting it with power. Like, it's really satisfying when you're able to connect with the ball and score in a really beautiful way. Or simply just putting the ball where you want it in a given situation. And it was definitely tough learning how to shoot too, which makes it all the more satisfying to do that today. And I think it's the most fun part.
Awesome. What are some examples of off and on-field communication? How do you effectively transfer information during the game?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's definitely a lot that you wouldn't think of as communication. Like, there's a lot of non-verbal communication. You can through like eye contact. If I can see that my teammate's open, he's looking directly at me, and he knows that he's available for the pass, and I can give it to him, and he can anticipate it. But there's also some verbal cues as well, like if there's a defender on my back, and my teammate yells out to me, "Man on," then I know that I can't turn because there's someone behind me. And also like some hand gestures too. Like if I need to play a through ball to my striker or my 9, he can have his hand down towards his leg, and I know that I can play it through to him.
And in terms of off-field communication, you and your teammates might watch film post-game to figure out what you did wrong and what you could improve on. And I assume that you and your teammates talk about plays at practice and when you're out together. I assume you also watch pro soccer, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. Well, that'll be it for all the time we have today, Tyler. Thanks so much for showing up, and I'll see you on the soccer field.
Yeah, anytime.